Hi, my name is Andrew Tan. This video I will mainly do a demo and a code walkthrough on React with the project put out by the Gulf FDA called OpenFDA. Basically, it's a REST endpoint which we are required to query and input the drug reaction and return the list of drugs that we found through the REST query and display using React. As a comparison, last year I did a previous demo using Angular 2. So I will briefly go over that demo, the code using Angular 2 observable as a reference, and then but I will make it short because the main demo of this video is for React. Um, but you can watch my previous video that has more detail on Angular. Both frameworks are front-end frameworks. So they competing frameworks. Um, so I'll go over the detail as the similarity difference between the two. All right. So okay, let's switch my face off here. All right. Here are the steps. I will still go through the demo. If the video clip also ended, I mean, there is a limit on a Snagit. I'm using Snagit for the video. I mean, there are several video in this sequence, so you would need to continue on with the next video in the sequence. Okay. All right. So overview of the FDA requirement, and then next I will show what the data coming back from the Open REST-DA, and then I'm starting on the React, how the React demonstration run without the code. And then last step, I will run through the code. And then in between, I will quickly do an overview for comparison the Angular of the same Open FDA requirement using Angular version 2 and 4 and walk through the code. And finally, I'll walk through the React demo code. Okay, so first, let's look at the OpenFDA. Oh, and by the way, my code for both Angular and React um, is on the GitHub. You can pull them down, compile them, and run both either of them. Here is the Angular OpenFDA. Angular Open using Angular, and this other one is let's see, supposed to be in here. And here is my React demo and the code. So all the React code. Okay, so let's look at the Open FDA requirement. It's over here. It's all right. So this same requirement I will use for both React and Angular demo. Basically, you can go through read it on my GitHub. Basically, it's put out by the government to the contractors. I got a hold of this a while back. Basically, anybody who can write can access this website, and here are different REST endpoint that coming back. It's open to the it's all public stuff. Okay, here is one live demo live running. So I should put data in. You get the data back REST endpoint from FDA and require that you navigate the code. That's where the programming part comes in. I have to navigate here, sort out, grab the reaction, and then also drugs arrays and pull out the drugs names, like this is the drugs names, okay, and so drug substance name, and then sort them out and put display to the end user. Here are all the different reactions that you can search by. You can search have abdominal pain, what drugs would do that, and then basically up here is where you input that has certain standards. You can input up to like a bunch of different reaction. For my demo, I put like typically 4 reaction for both Angular and React. So these right now I'm putting in these for empty reaction, except for the first one, which is abdominal pain. Okay, so this is where I get the result coming back. So yep, so that is the and so right now I'm going to do a quick overview of React. Okay, let's start over from scratch. Okay, start over from scratch, and let's run the code. All right. It's no, so it's standard npm start, and localhost 3000 open up. This here is the React code I wrote. Basically, you can put in abdominal pain and look it up, and it actually go out to the real website. Okay, so let's proceed with the demo here. Let's say we look for a drug pain. Oops, pop up here. Was it there? Okay. Um, yeah. Let's take out this alert. Okay. All right. And the code recompiles on the fly. And yep. So okay. And we found 11 reactions, and we can cascade all the on things on top. Let's say abdominal pain or headache. Okay. So down to 10 and vomit. Um, well, something's not right there, but anyway, and then headache. All right, that's the same abdominal. Okay. Oh, we're down to one drug reaction. Oh, that's just a demo. Okay, let's proceed on to the next. Um, let's see. Okay. Um, okay, so we just finished React number 3 React demo. We can do an overview of Angular 4 and walk through Angular 4. It's been a year, so I want to give it a shot. Alright, so we're gonna go off of a React demo here, go over to the Angular demo, and same thing, npm start. Um, some of this. Alright, so I wrote this a year ago in React. Basically here you can select different reaction and the 4 different drug reaction, and it will narrow down to how many drugs. So we got 9 left here. 9 drugs start out with chest pains, and now we get a lot less now. So alright, so abdominal pain, just you can make everything abdominal pain, and we'll see what we can have. But anyway, so that is a demo. Let's walk through the code. Let's see the code. This is React code. All right. So basically the code here, I have 2 different list component and 2 different services. One, I go in and grab different reaction to a REST query. That's how I got these dynamically pulled from OpenFDA website. And then after the user select any of these four, then I then use the observable and query um, um, a drug's reaction. So on the React side, I didn't bother to this is manually typed in as you have seen, and basically the drug's reaction side is similar. It's the same. So I skip doing the input side. Okay, but other than that, it's actually pretty much doing the same thing. So let's look at the code for the drugs Angular, it's TypeScript. So JS is the one that's being compiled. So you only want to look at the TypeScript one. We skipped the reaction one. Like I said, we're not going to go over that one. But similarly, the drugs and the drug component is what I want to focus on, and that's what the React side has also. Let's look at the drug service and drug list component. These two methods right here. Okay. This one, Angular, we have template, so which is kind of like equivalent to a JSX side of React, so you can see similarity right there. So this is equivalent to a JSX. Angular is more of uh, has an entire framework, so you can do routing and pretty much all without needing to pull any other third-party component. Where React, you can pull in Redux and other external routing component. Right. So similarly, both use ES6. So you have the same similar syntax here. Components here. Now basically you already have reactions, and here using navigation routing modules. There's a routing in here somewhere. Basically routes are here. Um, so this routing would route to route TS. Yes, this right here will route you to the drug reaction. So this one tell you to go to list component. So list component TS is where you pass in the reactions, and basically and that's where the service the reaction component, list component, drugs component, where is it? Drug list component, and that's pretty much the template. Is saying, to go grab these drugs and display them, and that's where the heavy lifting is in here. So here is, you can see the hard code, the FDA drug website, and all the full parameter is being entered. Here, the way it works is um, you get this drug service basically go query, and then the result of return and map out. So it invokes down here the observable, and to map out the drugs. Um, well, here it's not observable yet, but here is to map out navigating to drugs, and here I have to map out, and as you can tell, I have to navigate down the tree to get to the drug. So you have to go down to the drugs here, and then get to the substance name, and then skip to the next one and get all the drugs. So that's what this code is doing. Um, so um, let's see. So I'm getting down here, and then down here I was just removing duplicates and sorting down here, and uh, yeah, this is skipping to the drug and get a reaction. So basically, that's what I'm getting back. It's a list of drugs, and then this drug service is then displayed in the template by the drug list component. It's been a year, so I'm not like fresh on all the detail, but all the heavy lifting is in the drug list component, drug list service here. So basically just straightforward JavaScript, a lot of mapping, but over in the React, I use Lambda. Um, so that's pretty much the same. So this is a little bit more, the code is a little more longer. Lambda makes things a little bit shorter. Other than that, basically just array mapping over to drugs, REST data. Okay, so all right. So that's basically a quick walkthrough of the Angular. Oh, I forgot to mention that Angular uses observable instead of async wait. React uses async wait, as you will notice in a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, React uses async wait, which was straight a little bit more straightforward than Angular. Observable. I, Okay, so on Angular, it's using something called observable instead of React using async wait. And observable, basically, you're writing the subscribe, okay, and then you would chain in the get drug is when the is part of the drugs get service that saying is that this is a callback or after it has getting the REST endpoint return the data. So that's what it's doing. So get your drugs is this is over the list component and basically well the drop down that you saw as you click drop down those are basically just listener those are the four listener on-chain event you see here. And then upon changing it, as soon as you change something, I subscribe, and then from there, the drug return and invoke the drugs, get our drug in the drug service type script here, drug service type script, and get drugs is right here, get all drugs, and then that's why immediately it process all the data that's coming back from the REST endpoint here, and then the result is then pushed back onto the template for display. So the template basically is going through. This is called double queries and called interpolation. And basically, you'd use ng4, which is like the the different for ng repeat. This is Angular JS use ng repeat. But anyway, you use let drugs of drugs, and so you're looping through and you display all the drugs, and that's why you're getting this whole table right here, and it's all that code is all right here. Okay, and then all the reaction you see all over here is actually over here. So pretty much that's it. All right, so let's moving on to let's go walk through the React code so you can see the similar differences. All right, so we're done with that. Let's all right. So let's kill this. All right. Okay, so let's go over to the React folder and run the React code. So this is the OpenFBA React demo. All right, npm start. Yep. So yeah, this is the same code. The UI I had, if it looks different here, it's just CSS difference. Let's go ahead and do the pane, and then let's add another yeah headache. Go stand to that. So yep. Let's look at the code. Basically, this code is mainly the bulk is right here in this here, and then basically it does a all the input is in this component called the drug drug reaction input component, and that's all there is to it. It's basically a lambda, basically properties coming in. Basically, it's saying it's a form submit. So you can see a form submit right here. For all the and basically when you grab the input, it will invoke this callback method, uh, which you will then this member this called look drug reaction on submit, which I always is the main method here. Or function. Yeah, which is async way, which is React way of doing asynchronous. It's very simple and clean. So when you hit click, after you click the lookup drugs, it will grab this values, and from here, from this target element, and basically and again, similar to over there, you have the OpenFPA. I tag on these reactions and basically call fetch to the REST endpoint. So it's very straightforward. And convert to JSON. Notice the pairing of the wait async saying is wait here until the result come back, which is very clean. I like that. So and then underneath is actually using promises. That's what it's doing. But instead of the then syntax, you have just a simple, straightforward await syntax. So notice I have to navigate down, grab the patient drugs, and that's data drug result array patient drugs, and that's why this is a row array patient drugs. That's what it's doing. Patient result is 0 patient, and skip through the reaction, grab and go down to grab the drugs. So now we have a drug array. So this is so basically I'm stuffing this into a state. This is the React unique to React. It's called state. So I'm stuffing that whole array, which is all of this right here, into state, which is kind of basically the same as JavaScript scope. And then also the length, and then that's pretty much it. And I start proceed with the render function. Render function basically I put out the state drugs array, and basically I use a for loop. Actually, there's you can use a map lambda syntax here, but I thought I use a for loop here. It's easy to debug. Basically, it's root through, grab the drug's name. Drug's name basically loop through and navigate down to drug substance and drug name. So which is here, drug substance and drug substance name. And then I pull them out and I push into this structure called JSX list of row. Okay, this is a list of row. As you notice, it has this angle bracket, and it called a component drug found, which is a different React component. You see it here, drugfound.js, and what it is I'm passing in on the prop drugs, and then key, and then as you can notice in a little bit, this JSX drug row is after it loops through and build up pushing and build up this JSX, I would put down here in the return, and what it does is it then go over here, which is where the drug found component is. That's where it would has the format, the layout of the drug. And notice it props the drugs that I pass over. That's pretty much it. And then this is CSS. for formatting. So that is in the app CSS, Andrew, OpenFPA. This is the formatting, the size, font, and all that. Okay, so and then so that's where you get. So this just one row component is what showing you all of this right here. Okay, and then above it is the total count. As you can see, total drugs count is 10, and that is this code right here. The total drug count, drug length right here. So that one row display all that, and this is the total drug count. So as you can see, over in Angular, you see earlier in Angular, I use the syntax let ng4 let drugs of drugs to loop through display all the drugs. Okay. So this is how it's displayed, but over in React, this is how you display. Loop through here, still looping through, build up, and then have it display as a component. Okay. So pretty much, whatever flavor you are used to code, but pretty much same amount of code either way. All right. Let's see. Um, and then the input here is basically is pulling in as a component also called reaction component, input component, and that one is over here, as I mentioned earlier. Yep. So that's pretty much that's how React is put together, and that's how pretty much the same is put together. Either one, you have to navigate through this to get the data back. Um, uh, there are slight differences between the two languages. However, amount of code is almost the same, actually. Performance, I heard that React is supposed to be you're using shadow DOMs faster. However, performance in Angular 4 is supposed to be just as fast as React. So I guess I have to be neutral about both approach. Both uses ES6, which I like a lot. So I think either one is nice. Much better than AngularJS. Okay. Well, thank you for watching, and I will try to create some more video compared to the two framework. Okay. Thank you. Bye bye.